Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I have got a great pattern company, an Aussie-owned company to tell you all about, and the wonderful Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles is going to join me on a collab, so hopefully you can stay tuned for that. Now, back at the start of the year, you may remember that Karina and I did a wonderful collab on another Aussie pattern company. So if you didn't see that collab, I will link those episodes so you can go back and rewatch and catch up on that. Today I'm here to tell you all about the wonderful Pattern Union brand. So the wonderful Sarah from Pattern Union has sent me some patterns a little while back for me to test out and show you guys and see what I think. And I have actually had a great time sewing these up. After this episode, I'm going to link Karina's channel. I'm sure you guys already know of Karina. She's over in Brazil and she's got a wonderful channel. She also films outside like me. Very technical stuff there, and she has some great hints and tips. And I've also noticed recently that Michelle from Sewing Bunny, if you haven't seen her channel, I'll link that as well. You can catch up on her review of the Phoebe flounce and skirt. She did a wonderful ensemble there in a gorgeous sort of ink navy color. And Michelle, she's got a wonderful channel, so head over and watch her episode too. The first thing that appealed to me when I saw the Pattern Union patterns was the Phoebe collection. My eldest daughter is called Phoebe. I love the name. It actually means moon goddess or shining one. That's one of the first things I loved about it. And it is an old name, so back in Greek mythology. I just love the aspects into the history of certain names. So that's the first thing that appealed to me when I saw the name Phoebe. If you're anything like me and you've looked at the meanings behind the names for your children, I just think it's fascinating. It's great to give them a name that's got a real meaning to it. Phoebe collection, where do I start? There are so many options. There is the Phoebe Maxi skirt, which I've made in this beautiful fabric. I'll go into in depth in that in a moment. So there's the Phoebe Maxi skirt, the Phoebe pockets pant. There's a beautiful Phoebe flounce top that you can do with a lovely flounce sleeve, or you can leave the flounce off and just have the little tank style top with the beautiful buttons down the front. There's the Phoebe pinny. There's the Phoebe bib and tucker. So that's a really lovely style little bib and brace, like overall style with the little knots. And she's gone for that whole headband and that real retro inspired look as well there. Now, the great thing about Pattern Union patterns is there is cup sizes. So there are sizes 6 to 26, which is fantastic. The cup sizes either come in A, B, C, and then there's DE, and then there's FG. So you need to work out what cup size you need for that. And I think that's fantastic because it means that you don't have to do a FBA if you're wanting to do that adjustment. It's all done there for you. Now, the thing I love about the Phoebe collection is you can have them all as separates, but she's also given you instructions there to join them together. So if you're wanting to do the top and skirt and join it together with the elastic waist, you can have just the dress style version. But I've opted for the separates because I think that way I'll get more variations out of the clothing when I'm making. I can mix and match and do a few different looks. So I'm going to show you what I've done with that. Now, Sarah has actually got some fantastic free patterns as well. So if you head over to her website, you will see that there are patterns that will say free with coupon. You just need to add in a little code that it says there and you can grab yourself some free patterns. One of which is a fantastic non-surgical mask that we're wearing at the moment. Masks are very important, but for people with things like hearing aids or that have problem with elastic behind the ears, because a lot of people have had trouble and had really sore ears with the varieties of elastic they've got. And she's done a version that you have like a headband around the back, and it's actually made of neoprene or scuba fabric, and it is really comfortable to wear. I would say it is probably better in cooler seasons. In summer, you might get that little bit of sort of a warm feeling. It probably doesn't, it's not meant to breathe. That's a part of the thing with the masks, is they are there for filtering. but for people with those kinds of issues, it really could be helpful. Yeah, so head over and have a look at her free mask pattern. I think it's fantastic. There's so many other free patterns. There's things like food covers. There's, yeah, it's just like the headband. Yeah, there's quite a few options, so definitely worth having a look at her freebies. Now, the top I've got on here is the Cora Blouse, and you'll notice there on her website there are versions for the Cora Blouse. There's actually 6 different versions you can do this top in. So I love when you get a pattern and you get different variations. You can mix and match and do little details that are very different. This one I've gone for the little tie. I love that kind of boho feel, and I've done the sleeve with the elastic, the thick elastic, and it gives it that lovely kind of puffed effect. Really easy make. Now I remember Jane from Loopy Mabel's Closet, she actually did a review on the Cora as well, and she really loved it. She did a beautiful cowl neck version. So with the Cora Blouse, you will get the cowl neck version. You can have sleeves or sleeveless. You will get the tie front version, which I know there is a YouTube tutorial that she'll show you how to make your little tassel ties, which is really fantastic as well. Being lockdown, of course, I didn't get the opportunity to get out and get what I needed for the ties, so I had to use self fabric ties, which is fine. That still looks lovely, but it's a little bit more delicate looking when you have those sort of lovely tassels, so you can really add a bit of interest. This version I've done with just the normal binding neckline. Now I've actually done these both in a beautiful rayon, almost like a cheesecloth fabric that was from Fabric Store Online, that you'll notice. I think I can link the fabric below if you're interested in getting it. It's got a beautiful lurex self sort of silvery stripe through this one, and the gold through this, and it all intermingles as well. I think it's great when you can mix and match like a story, almost like a collection. I think it's a really good way of sort of breathing new life into your wardrobe and being able to have different variations of the one outfit. With this Cora top, I did the thick elastic binding around the sleeve, and with this one I actually did the little bit of shearing. Now that there's plenty of tutorials online on YouTube, you can have a look how to do it. Very easy. You just need to have your bottom bobbin wound quite sort of firmly with an elastic shearing thread, so it's very easy to do. You just need to make sure that you backstitch at the start and it gets a tension build up, and I just go around and around and around, and it really gives that lovely firm elastic. And if you want to shrink it up even more, a warm iron on top of that will actually bring it in a bit more tight. So that's a really nice feature. And I've left the bottom long, and I've just done a little rolled hem on the bottom, and it just, for that sort of floaty, lightweight fabric, it really looks gorgeous. The options for fabric, you can use things like linen, nice cotton lawns, and rayons, viscose, anything nice and light and floaty. The beautiful technique that she will take you through is entre deux, which is a heritage technique for stitching. If you're wanting to add a bit of interest, she has got a whole YouTube tutorial on that, and she shows the Cora done, and it's that beautiful kind of V-neck stitching and the paneling down the front. I think she's used a blanket stitch. You can use a setting on your machine if you have options for different stitching. She'll take you through how to do that, but you do need to use a wing needle. So of course I didn't have that on me, so I couldn't even experiment, but I really am interested in trying that kind of technique because it just gives that beautiful kind of vintage element to the garment. And if you're using a lovely linen or a lovely cotton lawn, I just think that would look stunning. It gives it almost that sort of rustic heritage kind of appeal to the garment. So very pretty technique to learn. And yeah, she does have a YouTube channel as well, and she'll show you all of her different techniques for adding interest to these garments. The Cora top I made a size 16 because I wanted it very light and floaty, and in the pink I actually made a size 14. It was still quite roomy. Because of the nature of this cheesecloth style fabric, it does tend to grow a little bit, so of course my neck ended up a little bit wider than what I would have liked. So be aware if you're ever using cheesecloth, and like a round cheesecloth will actually tend to grow, so you do need to stay stitch that to keep you a nice shape around your neckline. But yeah, I really love the tassel neck as well. So the cowl neck version, I know that she's got quite a few pictures there. You can see that what she's done, it's given it that kind of more classy, refined look almost to it. So it's really lovely to see a woven top with a cowl neck, and it has that detail at the back, that little collar detail in the keyhole. So very interesting style. The skirt version I used was the Phoebe Maxi skirt. It has got pockets. Now this probably wasn't the best fabric to use for the pockets because of that nature of that very light drapey fabric, but I think something like a linen or a viscose rayon would be perfect for that. And because it is nice to have an A-line skirt with pockets, you don't normally see that style. The only problem is with me, it can make me accentuate, make me look very hippie, and I find that unless the pockets are sort of tapered down to that, just that right angle, it can add a little bit more bulk. So I actually stitched down the very ends of it just to taper it down a little bit more but it still has that nice pocket detail in the front. So you just need to sort of experiment, and it's trial and error to see what works for you. I really love a beautiful A-line maxi skirt. I think it's very practical thing to wear in your wardrobe for every season, because of course you can mix and match with knitwear for winter. For summer you can wear a basic t-shirt or a tank top. Yeah, very versatile. The other option is the beautiful ruffled skirt. You can have the tiers and the ruffles. If you really want to get into that whole boho feel, this would be the perfect style for adding layers of different prints, mixed prints, ginghams and that kind of thing. You can really get quite creative with your fabric choices there. And once you sort of made that one prototype version up, then you can really test yourself and get very creative. Make a piece of wearable art. The great thing about her patterns too is that you'll print out the actual cover photo of the pattern, and it's almost like an envelope. It has a front and back. Using things like a plastic envelope to store your patterns in, you can then use the front and back, and it'll have all the size information on the one side and the pattern images on the front. So it's a very clever technique she's used to do that. I'm really dying to see what Karina has done. I know as always she does outstanding work, and I'm very, very excited to see what she's come up with. I know she's doing the Phoebe flares, and you'll see that's a really unusual style with that sort of gathering on the side, and I think she might be doing the Cora top as well, like me. So it's great that you can go to a pattern company and be able to buy different patterns and be able to get so many different variations in your wardrobe. Now, I think her patterns are very beginner friendly. She has got a lot of techniques, as I say, on her YouTube tutorial, and you'll see when you're going through the pattern, she'll have, as you're going through, say, the Cora top, and it'll say the entre deux technique, and you can just click on her link there and she'll take you straight through to her YouTube channel, show you how she's done it. So it's almost like getting that sort of live tutorial there while you're sewing together. I think that's fantastic to have that kind of backup there, to hold your hand through a pattern. And yeah, really enjoying watching some of her techniques on her YouTube channel. I think Sarah's got a beautiful aesthetic there on her website. I really love the way she's styled, and she uses this most beautiful fabric. She's got a lot of testers that go through her patterns, and it gives you, different variations, different body types, and different ages of the makers that have made them, so you can really get a sense of what's going to look good on yourself and what you feel comfortable in making and wearing for yourself too. Sarah actually runs Workspace Patterns Design School, and she does teaching. She's also, as I say, a pattern maker, and I just think she's very inspirational to watch. I think to go to one of her schools would be brilliant to learn great techniques. If you're over in Western Australia, look into her pattern school. I'll link that below as well. She's just released a new pattern this week, I've noticed. Just as I've filmed this, I've actually seen she's actually released a brand new pair of culottes called the Hannah culottes. Now these are a gorgeous higher waisted zip back, a wide leg pair of pants. I think people have done 3 different lengths. You can do the shorts, the culotte length, and the full length, and they look stunning on. They've got the button sort of detail front and the little pleats, so that kind of sailor vibe I think she's going for there. I think it's a really beautiful vintage style culotte that I'd be really interested in seeing how that comes up as well. And they are on sale at the time that I've posted this video. I think they were down to $15. I'm not sure when that sale ends, so if you're interested in any of her patterns, this is a great time to look into buying to get that discount off those culottes. Definitely look into those free coupons, because if you can grab yourself some free patterns that I know I've tried and tested, and a lot of really different style everyday things to use as well. So I love how the fabrics come up. It wasn't the easiest fabric to sew with, but I think it is just stunning to wear. It really gives that little element of luxury when you have that little bit of lurex. It kind of gives you that almost vintage 70s, 80s vibe. I know when I was a kid I had boho hippie kind of style skirts with this fabric as well, and they always had the little beaded tassels, so I would really love to see it done with beaded tassels. I think it would just add that little bit of that vintage 70s, 80s kind of look to it. But you see up closely, the fabric has got this gorgeous, it's quite see-through, so I'm probably going to have to wear a slip underneath it, but it's beautifully light and drapey, and I think that's exactly what you want with a full maxi skirt, especially if you're doing the ruffles. I think it would look stunning in the ruffles in this kind of fabric. And the pink version, I don't wear a lot of pink, but I love the dusty kind of pink with that sort of glittery lyrics through it as well. And in the light you'll see it really picks up the glitter, but really nice and floaty, and I think I will be getting a lot of wear out of these through the next few months with spring and summer. But for anyone in the Northern Hemisphere and you're going to those transitional periods, these are great style tops and skirts to wear for layering. You can pop tights or leggings underneath as well, and even layering these style tops with a little polo neck. I think we used to do that as kids. You'd wear these style tops with like a woolen polo neck underneath just to give that bit of added warmth. And the boots I think look fantastic with this style as well. So head over to Karina's channel, go and see what she's done. I'm really interested to see what she's come up with. Of course, we converse a lot. We do chat quite a bit. Anytime we see a new pattern release, we'll get on there and message each other. What do you think of this? And we've been discussing what to create in a collab for quite a while. And because we both love Pattern Union patterns, and I know that I'd been, as I say, been gifted these patterns by Sarah from Pattern Union. I know that Karina had actually done this Semeco dress recently, and she'd love that pattern too. And she just commented on how beautiful it fit. So we decided to do a collab on a smaller pattern company that we know that we're really happy with the results as well. So I hope you enjoyed that today. Now, if you haven't subscribed, of course, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button. You won't miss out on any of my episodes. If you hit the notification bell, you'll also be alerted to when they're released. And I'm just hoping you're all keeping sane at the moment. You're all inspired to sew. And of course, I'm here to inspire you. And I will hopefully have a new episode out very soon. And I'll keep them coming because I think it's very important to get our creative buzzles still happening, and to get our hands sewing and keep our hands busy is really helpful at this point in time. And if you make beautiful things, don't forget to wear them, because really, if you can't wear them and you're just going to store them away and put your old clothes on, I think it's definitely gives you a beautiful sense of achievement when you wear the things that you make, especially when people comment on them. There's nothing better than saying, I've made it myself, and you've got a unique garment that no one else will have as well, which is very special. I'm on Instagram as well. If you haven't followed me over on there, pop over and you can follow me. I quite often will share on Instagram and stories, and I'll let you know when my new episodes on YouTube come out as well, so keep you up to date with that. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.